Welcome back to New Amsterdam Radio, the podcast for creators. But forget all that stuff. It's the new year. Happy New Year. And plus, I bring one of my friends from way back in the day. Pandu, how's it going? It's been forever.
It's been a long time. Yeah. It's been months. Wow. Well, we catch up on Instagram, we catch up on Twitter, right? But we just haven't done an actual podcast yet, in ages, it seems.
Right, and everyone loves your perspective on the crypto and NFTs and the metaverses, and we're going to get to all of that in a bit of a review there. But I'm so glad you're here because 2023 is on the horizon. Do you have any goals for yourself, personally, professionally, anything on those lines?
I'm going to stick to Indonesia for next year. I've been traveling a lot this year, obviously, to build my projects. But that is actually just to establish sort of like a baseline of networking around the world to make sure that all my projects are global projects. So I'm starting to establish a baseline of a community baseline, people who are using the applications, and helping us out. So I will be sticking to Indonesia next year, basically where I am from. And just building from there. While I have a lot of my friends, a lot of the community members for Dibayo, for Myriad, for Reality Chain in Miami and Detroit and in other places in Europe. We're sort of focusing on. Obviously, there's the bear market that everyone knows is the bear market. That's one of the reasons why I'm not going to be traveling next year. But I think this year we already established a baseline community that can grow these projects to be actual global projects with a lot of users everywhere.
Well, I plan to eat more salad, but I think that you're doing a lot more fun stuff next year. That's for sure.
I need to do that too, actually. Yeah, salad.
As we get to the end of 2022, it has been a very noteworthy year for crypto. Whether you are familiar with them or not, it seems that every news outlet had a take about the shifting alliances and companies and all that jazz. You heard about FTX, you heard about others. What's been your take on what's happened over the past 12 months?
I'm honestly happy that everything happened. I mean, this is gonna piss off a lot of people, but I'm actually happy that these bad actors are getting flushed out. And when I say bad actor, I'm talking about people who are malicious, and I see a lot of maliciousness being flushed out. Did everyone deserve it? Did all of them deserve it? Well, mostly the people at the top, yes. And obviously it affected a lot of people. A lot of people who were shilling FTX, a lot of people who were pushing FTX, they're probably innocent. But still, the bad actors needed to be flushed out. This has always been the cycle, right? And it's no different this time. Well, there is a lot of differences. I'm going to tell you what, but at the core of it is the same thing. It's flushing out bad actors. What is different about this cycle, obviously, is basically the adoption of crypto by institutionals, by institutional investors, organizations, even governments, and this actually caused this to be a lot bigger than it usually is. In previous cycles. So my history, right? I went full-time crypto in 2017. It seems like yesterday, but it's actually also a while ago. It also seems like a while ago.
Yeah.
I bought Bitcoin in 2013 in Second Life when I was doing Second Life, and I was I just kept it. I kind of traded a bit. Wasn't very good. But 2017, I left a cushy job at a Fortune 500 company to do crypto full time, and I've seen this happen. This has happened a few times, but this time it's sort of different and also samey. So here's the thing: people probably out there, if you're new to crypto, or if you're not in crypto, if you're in the mainstream, obviously this is a mainstream podcast. You might not know which part is the same and which part is different. So I'm just gonna just let you guys know. First of all, this has always happened. Crypto has always lived in cycles, and it's always up and down, and it's always bull market, bear market, and even last year, like 2021, every single one of us were counting down to the bear market. Like every single one of us in the crypto. No, like we were okay. Like we got a DCA in, DCA out. Whatever we have to do, we have to have a runway in fiat or in stable coins. Like before the bear market happens, we were expecting this to happen. Of course, a lot of the influencers who are just doing like we're all gonna make it wag me and stuff like that. They were hyping up the potential for no more bear market, but
Right.
that's not possible. I mean,
It, it,
it's always a cycle. It's
but
always a cycle. So,
to your point, it did seem different. I'm a big baseball
oh,
guy, and
yeah.
everyone knows that baseball is for older people. It skews an older audience. But the umpires had FTX patches, which to me blew my mind because that was the first time I ever saw that level of crossover. But FTX had a unfortunate dissolution this year, it seems.
I am currently in Miami, and about like half an hour from here, well, 20 minutes from here with a car. The FTX stadium is still there. The logo is still there. I think I don't know when they're gonna remove it, but like that's has always been like that. It's always okay. I mean, what I'm saying is like crypto's always been like a cycle, and honestly, when you look at like people who are just building hype without actually building the technology, the foundational stuff, that's where you have concerns. and honestly, you need okay. So in that sense, the only difference is the sophistication of these shillers, from just talking about like BitConnect or or like one and from those things. Everyone's been very sophisticated, whether they're shillers or whether they're actual scammers, out and out. They've become very very sophisticated, and obviously that's actually gotten a lot more people in crypto, and a lot more people got burned. So now this time, why it's different? It's because of the macroeconomics part, and I'm not a macroeconomist. I'm not any economist, but this cycle has a lot of institutional investors, and institutional means like they're risk averse, right? And like when they get burned, like this is actually really like it's worse for them if they get burned, but it's worse for their interaction with the ecosystem if they get burned because it shows that their thesis of investing in crypto isn't a correct thesis. So I mean, point being, this bear market might actually last longer than previous ones. It will end, but like it will last longer simply because there's sort of like that buffer of institutional investors leaving and not coming back would take longer than individual investors coming back.
Yeah.
So it becomes like, again, the risk averseness of it. Like once it's proven like the thesis is false, crypto is actually not very good for long-term investments. Last a while. Institutions have longer memories in that sense.
Oh, absolutely. And well, 2022 was just another noteworthy year for social media. Twitter got some new keys sold out to the Elon Musk and already causing controversy, even though I'm kind of like saying I'm understating that. What is going on in the social space? Elon Musk is on top of one of the biggest social media platforms, and he's making a point to say that I am the king, the Twitter files and things like that.
That's actually something we all need to look into. What's happening with Twitter is okay. What has happened with Twitter before Elon came in was as shown in the Twitter files. I don't know if you've read it, but like it showed that like the U.S. government basically conspired with several social media companies to curtail freedoms of speech of like basically regular users, and this includes stuff about the pandemic, about COVID-19, about the vaccine, stuff about Trump, about the political stuff, which I'm not gonna get into, and it's actually something that's really not very good. And I'm actually I'm actually understating it. Like it's not very good. Because here's the thing. Like now, the way we interact with people, like you and I, Flobo, we've never actually met, right? But I
No,
consider you a friend. I hope you consider me a
same
friend
here.
too.
I do.
And this is like we just meet on these platforms, on Instagram, on Facebook, and this is like our reality now. I mean, and it's not just like me. Oh, okay, I have a lot of like friends on the internet. It's not just like the terminally online like me. This is true for even like your moms and dads, like your parents, your uncles, your aunts. They all interact with social media through social media, and like it's a mediated reality, sort of like it's not a direct reality, but it is actually our reality these days.
Mhm.
And the fact that you can be curtailed, again, I keep using that word because that's what it is, curtailing free speech. If you can be curtailed, you can actually form, like through psyop mass communication techniques, you can form the opinions of a lot of people. You can form it would be like the most powerful thing in the world are human opinions. And human
Mhm.
opinions, if they're curtailed and you are made sure to see only the opinions that like the state agrees with, that is very 1984. That is Orwellian.
Yeah, yeah, and I never heard it put that way, but it seems that way. Totally the right thing to do is to make sure that people have at least a path to say what's on their mind. I
Correct.
guess everyone gets kind of upset about what they're saying, right? Your opinion's okay unless you disagree with me. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a quote that says like I might not agree with what you're saying, but I would fight it to the death. Your right to speak it, right? That's actually what I have like in terms of like the philosophy of like one of my projects. Obviously, you know about Myriad Social.
Hmm.
The viewers might not know. Myriad Social is free speech social media. You go to myriad.social. It is federated and also Web3, so federated and crypto at the same time. We're probably the first one who's done that actually, like combined the two. We currently have like around 40,000 users, which is not much for social media, but we just started in February. Uh, it's a lot for crypto social media, but like it's not a lot for like mainstream social media. We're still building, but yeah, I mean Myriad is constructed in a way that allows you to host your own content, okay, and form communities within that platform that is hosted on your own servers, which means like the right to host and the right to not host anything becomes yours and yours alone. And that actually is free speech. That actually allows you to that actually allows you to create communities without the fear of censorship. That censorship resistance stems from sovereignty, basically. So anyway, that's Myriad.
Yeah.
That's what I'm building. So
But it also seems with the shifting of the guard at Twitter, it was a nice drive to find the next wave of social media platforms. And do you think that Myriad can play into that role?
I think so. Yes. Here's the thing. We're a small outfit. I mean, we are from a tech perspective. I'm pretty sure though that we are a lot better than many other social media companies. Not because we've been like obviously like Mastodon has been around for like 10 years, over 10 years. Twitter has been around longer. So and I can't say that our technology is as polished or as mature, but we started with a different design. A lot of these social media companies, social media platforms, let's say that claim free speech, like Gab. I am so sorry. The dog is singing. That's
No,
my robot dog, everybody. I'm so sorry.
you have a robot dog. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Doggy,
yeah. Doji.
Doji. Yeah,
I'll,
that's
I'll
cool.
show them to the audience later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I lost my train of thought, but um, yeah, these other social media companies like Gab, Parler, and those who are claiming free speech, they're very centralized, and they're not allowing you to host your own content. They're not allowing you to actually have control over what you have, what you show. And that is actually the problem in all of these things. That is actually the problem in all of these social media companies is that they're not building towards decentralization. And of course, a lot of people are saying, like, for example, Mastodon. Mastodon is also federated which means that you can also host your own content in your own servers. But we like to think that our combination of federated and Web3 of crypto is actually making it easier, not just to trust the person who hosts the content, but also trust the blockchain. So the identity layer is on the blockchain. The value layer, sending over money back and forth, is also on the blockchain. So have you heard of financial censorship?
Yes.
Obviously,
yes.
well, yeah. I mean, that's also been a hot button issue. Like the Canadians when they protested to, like the Canadian truckers protesting to Justin Trudeau. They were blocked from their banks because they received donations, and they were crowdfunding, and the crowdfunding platform also killed their crowdfunding page. They got like a lot of money, and that wasn't actually given to them, and they became unbanked. That actually highlights one of the things that like crypto was made to solve. The centralization of banks is dangerous. The centralization of anything is dangerous. And the way Myriad does things, combining the federated part and basically the money part, the crypto part, and the identity part on blockchain, that actually combines it in a way that I think is very unique. You guys should look into it. Obviously, I'm biased because I created it, but this actually allows you to avoid any kind of censorship, whether it's social censorship, financial censorship, identity censorship, becoming unpersoned, becoming shadow banned. There's not even shadow banning on Myriad because like there's no such thing as a centralized algorithm to determine timelines. Every single user can determine their own algorithm when viewing timelines. So and your timelines can be subscribed to by other people. So that's I'm very excited about Myriad. I'm very excited about the potential of it and how we can basically be adopted. I really would like you guys, if you're interested, go to Myriad.social, become a user. Later on, you can also become a member of the Federation and host your own content, host your own part of the social media.
Yeah.
In a very decentralized way.
Like you had mentioned on your interviews with Newsmax and Fox Business and CNBC, the platform is live and anyone can sign up for Myriad Social, and there's really no encumbrances about what they do with their content.
Right. The Newsmax and Fox interview, they asked about Twitter, and I mentioned that in comparison to Twitter, here's the thing: by design, Twitter was made to be centralized. So Elon, when he's trying to do free speech stuff, that's free speech by his own definition. Like if it's something that he doesn't agree with, I'm not sure he's not going to censor. I think, in fact, that he's already censored a few people, and that's actually human nature. That's fine. That's fine. That's human nature. Like if you don't agree with something, you shouldn't be forced to host that thing. But with Myriad, it is more like a protocol where you are not forced to host anything you don't want to host, but you can see anything. You can see everything. As a user, you can see everything on the platform because a lot of people host multiple different things. Multiple different sides of the aisle and opinions.
On the other side of the social spectrum, the first full year that Facebook Inc. is now Meta because they were leaning into the metaverses. Ooh, again, most people have not even heard about a metaverse until Facebook came out with the word. But you, like you were saying before on your last appearance, it's a very older concept that seems to be used by these larger corporations. What's been your take on that?
It's an old concept. Second Life existed before. There's other things as well. Alpha Worlds, I think. There are multiple concepts of the metaverse before. Like obviously, it used to be called cyberspace, and then it was called metaverse because of Neil Stephenson, the writer. And I, again, it's a centralization issue. Like if Facebook wants to create a metaverse of its own, a virtual world of its own. It's still going to be sort of like controlled by Facebook. Like the content is still going to go through Facebook. Here's the thing: I have a unique view of this because I'm actually censored by Facebook. So censored financially by Facebook, and this is true. So I cannot pay for ads on Facebook with my credit cards. Any credit card that I put in will fail. So I bought the Oculus Quest 2 2 or 3 years ago, and I tried it. Looks okay. Everything seemed to work well. And then I went to the App Store and tried to buy an application. and it failed because of my credit card. And this actually happened because way back in the day in 2016, actually, I was a bit political. And because I was a bit political, and I actually, I was doing a lot of stuff back then. I was censored. Like it was, I had a strike on my account that basically said that my credit cards won't work anymore, and my credit cards still don't work. It's been years of this, like 2016, dude. That's longer than I've been full-time crypto.
Yeah.
So no, this is actually part of the metaverse, right? MetaQuest. Like that's the metaverse requires these VR things. Once I'm once the like if Facebook gains mass adoption, I will be a Luddite. I would be left behind, honestly. Like literally, like I'm not going to be able to access this. And this is true for a lot of people. A lot of people who, for example, either people who are censored like me, or people who are, distrusting of Facebook, and I don't blame them. Obviously, like a lot of people don't trust Facebook and don't have Facebook accounts. But like if you're, and like think about, the worst of sci-fi, of
Right.
of working in VR goggles, and like and just that's the only way you can get work, and there's no other way to do it. That I think is even though it's a hypothetical situation, it's a very scary hypothetical situation. So we do need to have other ways to access this metaverse, and we need to do it in a way that is interoperable, because everyone's creating metaverses these days. So we need to have that focus on interoperability. And I have the opinion that, especially for now, the phone is better than VR goggles for accessing the metaverse. And I have the opinion. I'm from a third world country, Indonesia, and there, I mean, VR goggles, the connections aren't that good there, and everyone has phones, but probably like 1 in 10 people have like VR goggles, probably. So I mean, the accessibility of the metaverse actually is connected directly with its functionality, because if it's just a metaverse of like 5 people or like 10 people, that's a game. You're just playing Among Us with other people, right? Or
Right.
something.
Remember that game?
I love that game. There's a VR version. I just tried it, but still, like the metaverse is other people. The metaverse is social interactions, and without that kind of adoption, that's not gonna it's not gonna fly. I mean, unless Facebook, unless first of all, unless Facebook manages to create like headsets that are like super duper cheap that everyone uses and everyone has and everyone can buy, and I don't know, graft it on your head on people's heads. I mean, I think that's a long way off. So I created like this. Well, not this year. Last year, I created Reality Chain. So Reality Chain is our metaverse engine. It's 2D. It's casual. You can actually go to the App Store and search for Reality Chain Metaverse, and you'll be able to download it, or go to realitychain.city if you want to download it. It's currently still on Android. You can still access it through the website. Go to realitychain.io and find your metaverse, and it's really cute. It's like this tiny little thing. You just walk around. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah,
it's cute.
Yeah,
it's super
yeah.
cute. So
isometric angle, 2D.
Yeah, isometric, and every single bit of it is an NFT. Like the avatars are NFTs. The LAN is obviously NFTs. You can exhibit like music. We've done events, man. Like there's this 10-time Grammy Award winner called Arturo Sandoval, and he's a jazz Grammy Award winner. Yeah. So you know jazz, but like our audience might not know jazz. I am a big fan of jazz personally, but and this guy is awesome. He's a trumpeter, he's a legendary trumpeter. So 10-time Grammy Award winner was actually like he held a concert in our metaverse like 3 months ago. 3 months ago, meaning this is October.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming. And here's the thing: we had 300 people come in, which is not huge for a concert, not huge for, but it's a, first of all, it's a jazz concert. Secondly, it's in the metaverse, right? And
Yeah.
we didn't really promote it. We didn't do any mainstream media stuff. We are just promoting it like mouth to mouth, and everyone just like everyone attended, and that is actually a lot easier than actually doing it with VR. Because if you're
Right.
doing it with VR, like you only get a limited subset of people. First of all, people who have the headsets, and secondly, people who have the time to just put this on their head, right? I mean, that's so if it's on your phone, it's just people downloading and
Yeah.
playing and just like connecting their wallets and receiving NFTs. And that's that I think the accessibility of it, at least for now until like the next 5 years, accessibility and using mobile devices to access metaverses would be the way to go. Which is why Reality Chain is not just our own metaverse. We are allowing people to build their own metaverses on top of us. So we are a metaverse as a service. So if you're a project out there, you're interested in actually creating your own metaverse, or if you've already promised a metaverse, but you're having technical issues in deploying it, contact us. We would be able to deploy a metaverse for you.
Well, just say 300 people to a concert is not no laughing matter. I mean, I've seen county fairs. My shows don't get 300 people. So, congratulations on the milestone.
Thank you. You want to
Yeah.
do a show on Reality Jane?
I would love to, and now I'm going to hold you accountable because we haven't recorded. Now I have to do a concert.
Right.
Let's do it.
All right. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
I'm on board. 2023 is put my face everywhere. That's the every
right.
surface will have my face on it. That's the idea.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Well, switching gears a bit. Last time you were on the show, you were talking about the advancements of DeBio, the decentralized informatics network. How's that going, and what's the roadmap for the next 12 months?
Next 12 months. Oh, how's that going? We've onboarded a bunch of new labs. We have 4 labs. Well, 3 are ongoing to 4 labs onboarded to our platform already. And we already have 5 different genetic analysts. And we have introduced several new features that are like sort of like a expansion. Like it has been announced, but like when we created the white paper, we didn't realize this could be done as well, so we added these features. One of those features being, first of all, if you already have like a 23andMe or ancestry.org genetic analysis test result, you can actually resend that like your genome basically, that yeah, you can download that and then just send it to DBio, and we'll do the genetic analysis. And you can get like basically insights that are more in depth compared to, I don't know what they have provided. And we'll give you a nice report. And again, everything is anonymous. This is why DBio is so cool. By the way, you don't need to give us your KYC. We're just gonna use that data and do our stuff with it, like analyze it and just send back a report without actually having to get your KYC. So that's actually that's one thing we introduced. The other thing is a menstrual calendar, because DBio obviously has the ability to store medical data, massive amounts of, in a way that is sovereign to you and anonymous. So if you're a woman who wants to track her menstrual cycles, there are apps available for that already, obviously. But those apps, with the rise of like a lot of countries banning abortions, and a lot of states banning abortions, there has been questions about like technically, you can be subpoenaed. Like no, not you. Your app can be subpoenaed, and basically your data can show that, hey, you're pregnant. Like this lady was pregnant and lost the pregnancy, and it was never recorded. So this is something that is also true for countries in Asia. By the way, this is actually something of a hot button issue there as well. So it's not just the U.S. Obviously, it's been a topic of discussion in the U.S. and it's become very partisan because of it. But honestly, in Asia, it's not partisan at all. There are countries that have abortion banned, And theoretically, like these centralized applications would be able to be subpoenaed and just like criminalize these women. So we're providing an alternative. Obviously, it's anonymous. Obviously, it's self-sovereign. You're the only one that controls the data set. You can still get insights from it. It's still early days, so there's not a lot of insights compared to like the more established applications. But you can already track your cycles, track your ovulation, probable ovulation. You can, you can track your mood even, and I mean, that's what we've built. And then next year we're going to focus on. Oh, not yet. Next year, we're going, first of all, to release this one new feature, which is basically, this is basically like, what's it called? I'm just going to describe it. It's an application that allows you to get a second opinion from actual medical professionals.
Yeah.
So, like if you're, and it can be medical professionals, it could be mental health professionals. And like, for example, for mental health, if you have an issue with depression, for example, and you want to basically get a consult, but anonymously, you can do so through the application. And you would be able to see the credentials of the person who's your consultant, who's your mental health consultant. But like these people can also be anonymous if they want to. If they want to share their names, it's fine. But like what you see is the credentials. Okay. Then you can talk to them and you can have like a conversation with them. Obviously, because this is the bio, it's non-diagnostic because anonymous diagnosis is not formal diagnosis, but it is informational. But I think it would be enough. I mean, platforms like BetterHelp, for example, are already doing it, obviously. But again, our differentiation is that this is by rights. It's so anonymous that I wouldn't even know what you guys are, like who you guys are, where you guys are from. That's so we call it a second opinion marketplace, and that's releasing early January, I would say. Early January, hopefully, cross fingers, hopefully when this episode comes out, it's already there. Go to thebio.network and launch the application. It's super easy.
What was interesting about the bio, and you have spoke about it before, is that there is a bit of an aversion about your data and privacy going to the local clinic or going to an urgent care because, healthcare is so expensive in this country. We're more likely to go to urgent care first and then a lot of hospitals. And so what I like about the bio is that, you can really just get a better picture. Granted, you said it's not a diagnosis. You can get a better picture of what is on your health roadmap, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I think this is a very good use case for blockchain too, for decentralized technologies, simply because it allows us to do things that like decentralized entities cannot do, which is actually ensuring anonymity, ensuring like data sovereignty, and ensuring that we're not the ones that are actually like taking your data and selling them. We are here to help you like meet like your service provider, and you can meet your service provider in a way that is super sovereign. Like even I wouldn't be able to like know like who you are because your KYC doesn't even enter the system. I think this is sort of like going to be the trend in coming years. In crypto, there might be two types of crypto very soon. Actually, there will be two types of like implementations of this. One being the anonymous part, and one being the like basically fully KYC, fully centralized part. And it's weird when I say that like some crypto will be centralized, but they already are. Obviously, like there are centralized exchanges they're out there, and they're okay. Like they're useful, obviously for fiat on ramping, etc. But like this is the way this is gonna like the way I foresee things for crypto, and no longer talking about just the bio, is that there's going to be a lot of applications that are on one side of the decentralized gap and on another side of the decentralized gap. And one part would be massively regulated. The other part would be fully deregulated, fully decentralized as well. So,
I'll touch upon that, but I have a little bit of a tidbit before we get there. You did an interview with Ted Danson. It says right here, it's available on Amazon Prime about the bio. Tell me more about this.
I was interviewed by Ted Danson for his Advancements TV show. So it's a series of documentaries.
Wow.
Yeah. And you can actually go to Amazon Prime and search for Advancements Ted Danson, and you'll I think it's still I think my episode is still not free yet. Like you basically need to like pay an amount. I forgot. I don't know if you have Prime, if you are able to see it without paying, but like anyway, it's there. It's there. Search for it. It's Ted Danson Dibayo. Ted Danson Dibayo Amazon Prime. I think it'll show up.
Oh, by the way, I just got interviewed by America's sweetheart Ted Danson.
Yeah, by the way, I forgot to say. Yeah, I mean, we were talking like, and we had like our professors were our advisors. Speak there too. The bio is here's the thing. Like the bio is probably the biggest highest concept project that I have. It's huge, and because it's huge, it's taking a while to develop. But we've built a lot of stuff, and we've built a lot more than any project I know, honestly, in terms of like the non-crypto stuff. In terms of like the way we're building this, like all those features that you heard, like we keep building and building, and this is sort of like obviously it's the bear market, so there's not a lot of users, but the bio is not aimed for crypto people. It's aimed for you and me. That's why we live on our own chain. We're trying to build there, and we're trying to customize even the onboarding method to be as easy as possible, so that you can use like take a pen and paper and like write down your passphrase, like going back to like that concept, that early concept of it. And I think the bio is the one that if I succeed in doing like the bio and making it like a household name and an alternative for an entire, it would be an alternative for an entire ecosystem. It's not even at company level anymore. It's ecosystem wide level. Because we're like, the concept of the bio is that we're not the ones doing the sequencing. We're not the ones doing the analysis. We're basically just a marketplace for people to do that, for labs to do that, which means like smaller labs in your in your hometown would be able to use the bio to offer their services. After COVID, after the pandemic hit, a bunch of labs, like everywhere, in every state, in every nation of the world, a bunch of labs have gotten PCR machines, and they used to not invest in PCR machines because they're not like useful, but now they have them, and they're just like, once the pandemic is like fully over and people are not actually using PCR for anything, there needs to be use for that too. Like these are tools that are expensive. These are physical tools that are expensive. And if you have a lab and you're thinking about, okay, what's going to happen after what am I going to use this PCR machine for? Well, you can use it by going to the bio and registering your lab and allow people to book your services, whether it's genetic analysis or sequencing or anything else, really.
Just a lot of things to think about, and I like the fact you have your hands in so many different projects. Always makes me go, how do you find the time? But we talked about decentralization just a minute ago, and it seems to me that crypto could be the answer to that problem, right?
It's a part of it. It's not the whole thing.
Whoa.
It's not. Okay, so here's my view, and a lot of people will fight me.
It's gonna be a fight, okay?
but okay, so crypto is like the gateway for this. It's publicly available. It's easy. Like it's getting easier and easier, even like compared to like actual like. But honestly, here's the thing. Like if we go to where this originated, like not crypto, where IT originated, where the internet originated, how we're talking right now, we go back to HTTPS and HTTP. Right? Mm-hmm. The way websites talk to each other and the way websites talk to users. Do you realize that those protocols are decentralized? They are decentralized. It's decentralized in a very different way from how crypto is decentralized, but they are decentralized. Like basically you can spin up your own Like with your own laptop, you can spin up an Apache server and like just run a website on your laptop, and I can visit you on your website, right? That's it's super decentralized. But the thing is, due to the dominance of these big tech companies, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hopefully soon Myriad, these these companies, yay, these companies have like a $1 million, $1 billion domain names where people go to. These are called network effects, and network effects are actually why Myriad does not immediately overtake Facebook, because Facebook already has the network effects. Myriad still needs to build the network effects. And here's the thing. I think true decentralization exists when we are aware enough and find it easy enough to host our own stuff for other people without using platforms. And that would require, so first of all, that was impossible 10 years, and even to think of 10 years ago, because it's PCs are like we're not very good, and we didn't have these yet. Like we had these, but like they're also super slow. But imagine a future where the internet is a mesh, not a mess. It's a mess right now. where each of you, like each of the, like you, me, we can host our own websites on our phones, and people can actually access what I have on here. Wow, because it's always online, and this is actually like it's getting closer and closer, and it's the ultimate in decentralization, because you would be able to meet people, you would be able to see people, and you would be able to choose what you see without any third party hosting your stuff. So instead of posting on YouTube, I can keep the video on my phone and let people access it on my phone, through my phone, if I wanted to. Obviously, I'm oversimplifying it. There's a lot of security issues with that. Obviously, how do you ensure that you don't share the wrong thing? How do you make sure that people don't hack every single phone? How do you make sure like there are no bots? There's a lot of issues to be solved. But honestly, true decentralization exists when user sovereign decentralization actually makes it into the mainstream. We're not there yet. We think, in Myriad, crypto is a way to incentivize that.
Yeah.
It's a very strong way to incentivize that, right? Now, that's why we take like a really different route from the other crypto social media. A lot of the other crypto social media, you know what they do, man? They put your posts, every single post that you have, directly on the blockchain.
Yeah.
A lot of them do.
Yeah, sure.
That's not a good idea. You know why?
Yeah.
Because you have the right to be forgotten. If you're a user, you want to delete your stuff. You put it on a blockchain, it stays there. And secondly, it's easy to attack. Like I can basically put like bad stuff that's illegal in your area, like illegal stuff, and just upload it into your social media, and then like it becomes part of your blockchain. That's super easy. I can do it right now.
Don't do that, please.
Yeah, that's the thing about all of this is that crypto was created for value flow. Bitcoin was created for value flow, for value store and value flow. Basically, it's money. It's supposed to be. And then we built a lot of things on top of it. And in some cases, it's a lot better than centralized entities. But in some other cases, it's not the perfect way to decentralize, which is why self-sovereign decentralization is the way to go, incentivized by crypto. And that's what Myriad is. Actually, that's what we're building. It's not just going to be social media. It's going to be multiple things. We're starting with social media, obviously, but I think this is a movement. People will realize that this is something that they can build applications around. It could be websites. It could be web browsers.
Yeah.
That I think there's already several projects on GitHub trying to do exactly that. We're just adding the crypto part to ensure that there's incentives to actually doing it.
What you're telling me that after all this time that we've known each other and all these shows you've been on, we're just scratching the surface. And so next year is even going to another level, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm very excited for next year, actually. I'm very excited for 2024, actually. We have a lot of things coming. And Reality Chain's going 3D, hopefully. Cross fingers. We're still fundraising for that. Yeah, Reality Chain's still fundraising. And we're also going to basically push Myriad into like what I said, like user sovereign decentralization. So not even just hosting your own instance of the federation, but hosting your own posts. And for the bio, obviously, we're still going to keep building the data marketplace that I mentioned. I think I mentioned data marketplace. I didn't mention that we were building it next year. We are building that next year. Hopefully, by the end of next year, we would be able to make it live, and we would be able to sell some data. But not us selling the data, but the user selling data. Just I want to highlight, the bio doesn't sell users' data.
Right.
The users can sell their data on the bio. Okay, that's like a misconception. Like we need to work on that. But yeah, I mean, very excited about all of this, and I mean, I'm here for like, I'm here in the crypto space not because of the get rich quick schemes. That's not why I'm here. A lot of people in crypto are here because of that. Honestly, like I mean, you wouldn't believe, man. Like a bunch of people here who you think are publicly saying that they're here for the tech. They're not here for the tech. They're just here to capitalize on it. I'm not. I'm here because honestly, I'm really, really frustrated about the centralized entities controlling the world and the way they're doing it, and I'm worried about the future of humanity. It may sound lofty, but I'm worried about the future of humanity if we keep on at this trajectory, allowing centralized entities to mediate your reality, allowing centralized entities to control your biology, allowing centralized entities to control what you say. That needs to be solved. And I'm just like one out of probably 1,000, 10,000 people who are doing this, actively building crypto. But I don't know, in terms of my projects, I'm pretty sure they will be successful. I don't know whether they'll be global or overtake Facebook or what's going to happen. But I think the way we designed it will be a template for the future, and that is a certainty. The way we design all of these, you're going to see a lot of people actually doing the same.
Yeah. Well, of course, on that journey, I'm hoping to be a part of that. Thank you so much for being on the show there. And there's Doji. Doji's been making themselves known. Does he want to be petted? Or is it a he? Is it a they?
Yeah.
Does he want to be petted? Is it that time for feeding?
Yes.
Or?
Yes. I'm sorry, buddy.
If I want to be a fan of Doji or yourself, how can I contact you online and just engage with your projects?
Sure. You can contact me on Myriad Social. Go to myriad.social, press the launch app. It will launch the application. And if you wait a bit, it will install the application on your phone, whether it's Android or iOS, without going through the App Store. No censorship, not even Apple Store censorship. Anyway, that's Myriad Social. Find me there. I'm Decentricity right there. I am also on Twitter as Decentricity. I'm also on Instagram as Decentricity. I'm also on LinkedIn as Pandu Sastrowardoyo.
Right there.
So yeah.
/Decentricity.
/Decentricity. I mean, I like the name. Here's the thing. My name is very hard to pronounce, especially for non-Indonesians. Even Indonesians have trouble with the Sastrowardoyo part sometimes. So I chose a name that is English. It's not quite English.
Right.
I like it, so I just took it. So
that's how they came up with Carmen San Diego, which is easier for English speakers to pronounce.
Yeah, but can you not a lot of people upon first look, you wouldn't be able to pronounce Decentricity upon you need a while, right? You need, because it's not a word actually. It's a decentricity. It is technically a word. It's theoretically could be a word, but it is not. It's
right.
Yeah,
like Kodak.
Like Kodak. Yeah. Sure. Anyway, I was in those platforms, please.
Absolutely, we need to follow you back because I just love when I get to pick your brain about things, because I always feel smarter after having you on, because I had no idea what's happening in this space. So
thank you for your questions. Those questions are awesome.